Let's see how it goes. What do you think? Oh,
should be fine.
and our socials.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, except it's wrong right now.
Is it behind?
It is behind.
I figured, because I'm sure we're more than 1778. We were 1778 like a while ago.
It's not that far behind.
But still, we're up by like what, 2, 3, 4. Oh.
1780 right now.
Okay, that's fine.
So I can change that. But here, let's make sure drop frames. We're getting drop frames now.
But that's is that a bandwidth issue?
We've been having internet issues, so maybe.
Oh, well, that's true. Yep.
So here, this little guy, sub goal. Well, I don't want to edit it.
Yeah, that's fine.
As people go, we'll get it.
Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal.
So we are live, technically. Our chat should be appearing over here.
Oh, it should. Oh, that's cool.
Somewhere. Who knows? See if we are live on our stream live. We are! See? There we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I hope everyone can hear us well enough.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we'll give some people some time to get in here too, because
yeah. Oh my god, my hair is like crazy. Oh good, that was when we adjusted the subscriber goal.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Let's hope everyone can hear us fine enough.
Myself up.
Oh, Steven's here. Hey, Steven. Nice of you to join us. Sorry, we're kind of impromptu tonight.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Please tell your friends that we're on too.
I don't have that cool electronic machine in the background like Matt does.
Oh, I know. I feel like that would garner a lot more views and interest. So
that's true. That's true. Wow, I didn't realize how blue that Red Bull looks on the.
No, I bet it does. Oh, there's the chat. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there we go. So the chat should be appearing over there, which is awesome.
That's nice.
Yeah, it'll just keep going on there. It won't disappear, which is nice.
Okay. Oh, that's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, at least then, whatever.
Yeah.
But right. We're just gonna see if there's more. It looks like more people are coming in, so we might as well hold off for a few minutes.
Yeah, I don't mind.
How is everybody tonight, though? You guys okay?
And then we have to wait for the delay. I'm sure everyone's fine though.
Yeah.
We've been good. Been busy. A lot of things like not even D&D related life things have been kind of coming up too. So
yeah. But as far as the channel's concerned and all that other stuff, we should probably tell them a little bit about the stuff that's happening, which is awesome.
Yeah. And there's a lot of good stuff that we'll get into. I really want to
give
wait
it a few minutes because
yeah.
it keeps climbing on there. Just want to see. Just remember to say hi to everybody in here.
It's been a very interesting weekend here in Chicago. Weather's been mostly good.
It changes.
It changes a lot.
I mean, yesterday was
beautiful.
Uh-huh.
I think we were at somewhere in the 70s or 80s, and there was no rain. And then today they said it was gonna be scattered thunderstorms, and then all of a sudden it's kind of coming down a little bit. But no complaints really. It's been really nice for the most part. So can't complain. It's been good. I like the colors you picked for the background there too. It's maw-ish, but not maw-ish.
It literally is the same maw background, just yellow and orange instead of
I like that. Yeah, it's good to differentiate from that stream and this stream. So I actually do like that. So, but 1770. Well, I mean, obviously, even more than that. It's nice to know.
Yeah,
that,
we're at least 1780 right now. We'd like to get over that 1800.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice.
Do you know what's weird about this, Sean? The last time we did a live stream was our 500 subscriber live stream.
Well, we did.
That was our last thank you one.
That was our last thank you one.
Yeah.
And then I know we did kind of like an impromptu stream. I think at that point, I think we actually I think we were like recently at 1,000, but we kind of did one just to kind of keep people updated.
There was going to
we
be
were
that
having a lot of like
collaboration
issues.
video, and then
yeah,
we
yeah.
never ended up doing that. So
Right. So
yeah.
there were a lot of things going on at the same time.
So I wanted to check with everybody who's in the chat. I know this is going to be like on a little bit of a delay from when I say this. So when you post in the chat, we'll see it, and then we can go off of there. Does anybody here tonight have any homebrews that they want us to look at? Because that's something that we wanted to do with this stream, is to actually kind of hash out all the things that were...
Right, so feel free to, drop any questions or comments. I believe in the chat you can drop links, right? I don't think YouTube...
Oh, no, I have it so you can drop links.
Okay, great, good.
Please, only appropriate links.
Yeah, right, yeah, or else we will get rid of it if it's not appropriate, of course.
Yeah. Actually, it's already, it's self-moderating right now.
Oh, wow,
I've got,
it's so smart.
Well, it's not. Streamlabs OBS is. I had to program it this morning.
Oh, okay.
A few choice words.
Okay.
Halfling.
Good. Oh, wow.
Among other ones.
All right, so no halfling homebrews tonight.
No halfling homebrews tonight. But no, there's some great stuff that's been going on.
Yeah,
so.
and a lot of questions too. I think a lot of the time, especially when we get some questions like in like the Discord or emails, like sometimes it's hard to like get to them like at that moment. I'm hoping with this stream and like future other streams, like it'll be easier if like, okay, we got a question here, and then boom, we can answer it because it's like right in our plate. That's
right.
kind of the idea behind
right.
it.
The funny thing is a lot of people ask us, what do I've been getting a lot of questions like what do I have to do in order to get my homebrew on the channel? And it's a tough question to answer because it's not necessarily an easy one to answer.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, to say the least, obviously, we get a lot of great submissions, and we appreciate it like greatly. We love it when people send us like copies of things, or like even if it's like a rough draft, we'll get a copy of it too. But obviously we can't get everything up there just because for different reasons. Obviously, sometimes it's like just like the amount of things that we have already. Sometimes I think there's things that are like really good ideas.
Yeah,
concepts, but they just have to like get like.
Man, you're too polite.
Really?
Yeah, I'll just say it right off the bat. Sometimes we get stuff that's not so good, and
okay, sure.
I'll just be honest about it. Like we kind of have this thing where we want to make sure that everything. Like, I'll put it to you this way: we have some people that come to the channel to watch us just because of what we offer and like what sort of things go out there, right? And there's kind of like this invisible bar.
That's a great way to put it. There is no like set like in paper on stone guideline.
Right.
To,
it's like, oh, we like this one, we like that one. But there's sometimes you see one and it's just like so overpowered and things like that, and you just kind of go, I really enjoy the creativity of this person. I really enjoy the enthusiasm, but the class is kind of lacking. Yeah. And neither one of us, just so you know, are very good at telling people no. We're just not that person.
Yeah, and I think when we make a video for like the channel, or if we review something, the goal of it is to offer something that we can really kind of stand behind, something that we know like, okay, this is good to go, this is ready to be played, at least from what we can tell. Yeah, because that's really the whole point of like the videos. But like with these streams, hopefully we can get into those ones that like maybe it's not ready or complete for like a full video review, but this is something that we can talk about, something that we can work on together, collaborate on, and maybe make improvements to. That's the point.
Right. And part of the thing is, I want to do something with this stream itself. Is that maybe once a month we go over ones that we've gotten that are not as best as they possibly be, and see how we can help improve them.
Yeah, I'm actually even gonna.
Everybody just heard that go by.
Yeah.
When you listen and watch our videos and you hear that kind of sound, that is what it is. I am right outside of my apartment is this busy street. So all this other kind of stuff is kind of like crazy.
I'm actually going to see if I can even pull up some examples, because
yeah, that would actually be a good idea. I mean, we won't be able to put them up on the screen.
Right, but we can maybe put the link or something. Like one that... And if it's okay with you, I'd love to go over there's the Scaridia, like the two-headed dragon looking one.
Right.
I think that was a great example of like, awesome concept, fantastic
well,
concept.
Let's start getting into it because we're down to 5 viewers right now.
Yeah,
we lost 2 in there, so we're just gonna start.
Yeah, and people will probably watch. You can watch this after we're done streaming too, so it's not a big deal. So we can pull that up. I'll actually go ahead. I think I remember what it's called. It should be Scaridia.
Yeah, no, I looked them up this morning.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So, a couple of things that we've been. We're going to start here. So, hello to everybody that's out there watching us on a weekly basis. We actually have been quite busy when it comes to the homebrew stuff, and we've got a book that's coming out. That's the first and foremost thing. Which we are changing the name to. It changed from Vogel's Guidebook to the Maw to now what I'm thinking is Vogel's Compendium of Creatures, Cultures, and Curiosities.
Oh my God, so many C's in that one title.
It is a lot of C's. Hey, Dean, how are you, sir? Are
you able to divulge into why we kind of
yes.
had to... Okay, I wasn't sure if that was allowed to be discussed. Okay.
That is news for these people.
Great. Okay.
So we were originally going to be putting out this hardcover book that was Vogel's Guidebook to the Maw, and it was kind of based off of our streaming stuff that we've been doing and all the homebrew stuff that we've got. So we started working with the DMs Guild. We talked to Lisa over at the DMs Guild, and things were really, really great. Except when we got to the point of having to explain the Maw.
Right.
Apparently, in order to publish underneath the DMs Guild, you have to be in one of the worlds that is unique to Dungeons and Dragons. And if you make something that's homebrew, you can't have that on there.
Yeah, and it's interesting because
you may want to speak into here because remember this is where we can NPR it. If
no, let's not do that. We've learned a lot of things as we've been kind of going through the process. So that was kind of a small detail that we weren't kind of like aware of when we kind of first got started. Because honestly, we were just really excited just to get this book going. Because there were so many great ideas, and we were like okay, we can't lose this momentum. We gotta start going like now,
Right. And we funny thing is they were going to publish us through DriveThruRPG.
Yeah, right. That's right.
But then when you do that, you lose any rights to beholders, mind flayers, all that kind of stuff. Which is kind of a
big issue with this content, considering one of the races and one of the classes.
Right.
Races and class, yeah.
So essentially, all we ended up having to do was change a few things around in the book, and that's going well. Our first release actually will be a teaser release. Should be sometime next week, actually.
Okay. Yeah, because that one's pretty much almost ready to go.
Yeah, that's the Briarthorn. That's going to be coming out probably sometime next week. We're just waiting on a few new things from our artists. Right. We have this fantastic background artist that's done some awesome work for us, and now we've got Mick Dotto drawing all of our character art.
Some fantastic work.
He is, and I'm actually quite proud of that.
Yeah.
He is super happy about being part of it. So
yeah, and if you've been watching the past 2 streams, we had Daniel Miranda playing a Briarthorn.
Yes,
and we saw some of the features in there too. He did a great job, obviously, for sure. But it's exciting to finally kind of get something out there. I think that's true. That's kind of the big thing. So
that's the stuff on the book. I hope you guys would be enjoying that. I know that's going to be kind of a big thing for us. This first release will happen next week. It's just going to be it's a basic race with some backgrounds and some feats and some things for it. Hey there, Adolf. I don't get to say that often. I would say hi, but it doesn't. But hey, Adolf, it's good for you to join us.
How many times do you think he or she has heard that? Come on,
I feel bad.
But no, thank you. Welcome.
So that will be coming out soon. Yeah. I really would love to stress that for people to go out and take.
No, absolutely. And it's mostly been between Tony, Mick, and our new background artist, and it's a fantastic piece. It's really well fleshed out. It looks like super clean and professional. I'm really excited for you guys to check it out. It looks really, really good. So we'll definitely we'll share that on everything really to kind of get that out there.
Definitely. So there's that. That's on that. Now every other week we're still doing the Maw.
Yeah.
And you guys a lot.
See, I told you.
Sorry. Just remember too, we've got a little bit of a backlog before we see what you guys post, but that's awesome.
But I had a feeling, but okay.
So we so we were what was I talking about with that? I'm rambling
you're talking about
now.
the stream. Because the stream.
Oh yeah.
So there's gonna be a couple, well, not huge changes. I mean, this has kind of been established. So I'll be taking a break from DMing, and then I'll go back to table as a player, and then Tony will DM for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how we were planning this, initially from the start. But there's some exciting storyline stuff coming up. A lot of great stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
the fun part about this stream is that each chapter or each time we kind of change the DM. It's almost like we're entering like a new phase or like a new kind of just this chapter that it's so different from like what you'll see in the previous chapter too. So I'm not going to spoil anything. I get some of the inside details obviously, but like it's I'm super excited. I'm excited to play again. And you're excited.
I'm glad
to DM
you're excited
again.
because when I told you didn't seem that excited, and I was like, "Oh man, maybe I should change the story a little bit."
No. I think it's interesting, especially for like a stream, like because when we're playing in our homebrew campaigns, like with buddies, like I'll play in one and I'll DM for other, but like when you're doing it for a stream, when you're kind of doing this like live story, it's kind of different. Not in a bad way, but like your mentality about it kind of changes.
That's true.
But it's fun to go back and forth. It's fun. It's really good to get a chance to play and DM. You know, it's fun.
You actually be part of the world that you guys create.
Yeah, exactly.
This book, Instructions Follows Guide by Colville, are 2 main books. Oh wow. Well, Dean, thank you so much for saying that.
No pressure.
Well, if nobody knows, Dean is one of our largest supporters out there.
Mm-hmm.
Royal Magus has been an avid viewer, streamer, and you know what? He's even got an item in the book named after his puppy. Yeah, which we just recently put in there.
It'd be really awesome.
Thank you for the kind words, Dean. We always love that.
Mm-hmm.
So upcoming videos. We should talk about the ones that are upcoming. We all know that Avernus is coming.
Right. Actually, like tomorrow, I think we're gonna have our copy.
We'll have our Beyond copy tomorrow. Everybody else. All the other streamers out there already have their hardcover
I'm sure
copies.
I'm sure they do. Oh yeah, are you kidding me? Like
we're popular, but we're low.
Like not popular enough. But I think what we're probably gonna doing is once we actually get the copy, we definitely want to kind of read through it first. Because and we're very flattered. A lot of people kind of they ask for our opinion, like, oh, how do you feel about this new UA? How do you feel about this new book? And
the thing is with this, we want to try and keep everything homebrew. Oh, tears of joy! Thank you.
Aww.
I appreciate that. So we actually that's part of it, but we want to keep everything homebrew.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we're trying to theme our next couple of videos to be towards the whole Devils and Avernus kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and it's working. We've got what do we have? We have an imp race.
There you go. That's what we did. We did the imp race, and then we did like things to bring into Avernus. So that was like the other video, which is a really nice, fun idea that we did. So it was like different spells you should bring, or different like things or things like that. So,
all right, let's see what we got.
But we I think what we might end up doing, we might like go into certain topics about Avernus and like talk about like how to use this in your homebrew campaign.
Yeah.
Because like as with anything, even like Ghost of Saltmarsh or like even like the Acquisitions Incorporated stuff, all those things you can just like take out and put in your homebrew campaign. So
that's true. So I'm going to switch our topic here because that's pretty much all the new news that we have going on.
Oh, and then really quick, I think the only other thing is we're going to be at Ramen Con this weekend.
Not this weekend. This weekend's today.
But like the next weekend that's coming up, we're going to be at Ramen Con. We're going to have a panel at 11 o'clock in the morning, so don't stay up on the rave too late. Join us at 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning. And we're gonna be there. We're gonna be doing our usual homebrew one, but we're gonna be kind of doing, and we got a longer time slot too. We're actually gonna be there for an hour and a half, so we'll be making some homebrew stuff. We'll be going hopefully over some homebrew stuff.
Sure.
I'll be there Saturday and Sunday, but Saturday I will be dressed up as Spider-Man, so you might not recognize me. But if you're there, watch out for me. Yeah, I'm Miles Morales. It makes sense. But like, yeah, you can, and of course, as usual, after that, the panel will be there to hang out. And I think we'll be done for this year until Con Alt Elite 2019.
Yep, which is in December.
It'll be in December, so we'll be there too.
So that's all our news. We're going to switch over and we're going to answer those questions really quick too. We're going to move from building better brews to our question and answer question.
Yeah, that's fine because I think there's one in there.
So the first thing is let me address that imp race. It's one that we actually found on Reddit. And that's going to be posted tonight. I just have to finish up the editing, and we're going to post that tonight. And then on Wednesday will be the spells into Avernus. We really like the way they did the imp race.
Yeah, we again.
Most of that's in the video though. Well, so we can't let's not give them the whole video.
And it's funny because again we talk about like how we get a lot of submissions. We looked through a couple of different imp races, and people had really good ideas. But we liked this one because it's pretty balanced, and you'll see it in the video.
Some were overpowered, some were underpowered, some were just like this just says imp. It just didn't really have it. So there's that.
Yeah, exactly.
What is our favorite homebrew monk class? That's like asking me which you prefer, Brussels sprouts or spinach. I think honestly, if it were to be a homebrew monk class, probably the one that we reviewed.
Yeah. Admittedly, I'm not a monk aficionado.
But what was the one that we had? There was one that we did that was it was pretty cool. It was the the Wayward Soul, was it?
I think it was, or like the Way of the Light, or something like that. Honestly, we upload so many videos, it's hard to remember now. But
I'm gonna look while you're.
No, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm gonna look while Sean does a song and dance. Go ahead, Sean. Yeah, that's not fooling anybody.
But, no, it's not. But it was good because I think, if I remember correctly, that was the one that can kind of do a little bit of healing, but it had like options to do some radiant damage and things like that. And I liked it because with like the other
Way of the Holy Soul.
There you go, Way of the Holy Soul.
That was the one. There's a 10-minute video of it on our channel there, and I think that's one of the ones that seen any good Dragon Rider classes yet. New familiars. That's actually a good one that we should address too. So finishing up with with the Holy Soul one. Yes, that was the healer class one. That one was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it was a nice balance between still being a monk but having those defensive options. So that was a good one. That was a good one. Maybe we'll link it, in the chat.
Yeah,
if you guys want to check it out later. There you go. Yeah.
So to answer that question, let's just do this.
And I remember that too because we were on a binge of like all these awesome subclasses. We found that Brewmaster Barbarian.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
So that's the link there for the monk that we like.
Soul. Yeah.
That's my personal.
To be fair, I also like yours. Yours is awesome.
Oh, the Yabin Ken.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's
definitely.
That's just a shameless plug, Sean.
When do we not shamelessly plug on this channel?
That's a good point.
Okay, what's the question after the monk?
All right, so any good Dragon Rider classes yet?
Yes.
Well, see, here's the thing. Our good friend Willie put together a class, and a few others put together a class. If you want one,
we have to be careful because this is not the Willie O'Bill show, mind you, folks.
It's not. But we. I'm gonna link that. We
totally love him, and yeah, he actually did. I forget if it was a Dragon Rider or it was like a Dragon Patron.
I believe it's a patron.
I think it was a patron, but the honestly though, and
God, there it is. The Great Worm Patron,
and it's a worm too.
It's a dragon.
It's dragon-like.
It's a dragon.
Dragon. Okay.
It's got 4 legs and 2.
Oh god, that's definitely a dragon.
That's a dragon.
But yeah, we can toss it.
Worms don't have wings. That's the difference.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Worms don't have wings. And then this is one that we like, which works really well.
It does.
Now, don't get me wrong. We don't shamelessly plug the DM's Guild all the time. However, there are some pretty awesome things that are going on with that.
Oh, absolutely. And this one, and it's funny, we haven't done a review on this one yet. We totally might. Who knows? But this one's cool because it's not basically trying to give someone a dragon pet, but it's the warlock, embracing and bringing out the qualities of that dragon in a much more balanced way. Yeah. I think later on there's a dragon, but that's later on.
So the next thing we got in there was any new familiars, and we haven't really looked at them. The main thing with familiars, and the thing that's hard to find with those, is you have to find number one, tiny creatures and pets, and number two, they can't be super crazy overpowered.
Right.
However, I have been tossing around the ideas of a slime.
That'd be
just
awesome.
Like
you know how useful slime would be? Always squeezing in that inch spot. That way you can go through dungeons and stuff. Yeah.
We may include some of those things in Vogel's a little bit. I have to look at what we have space for because we're kind of running out of space with it.
I know.
But as far as any familiars that we've seen so far or anything else, I think the only ones that I like are the Gazer familiar, which is awesome. But that's actually a standard thing. That's
right.
out of book. So I haven't really seen any. If you have any familiars that you'd like us to take a look at, definitely send it our way. The main thing is it's just they can't be too overpowered, or else it makes you a pet class.
I think it depends. Like when I was playing in your previous homebrew universe, I had a crab.
A little hermit crab. Yeah.
And like the thing moves like 5 feet per turn, and it's tiny. But like it was useful. I would cast light on it, and then it would like walk around like a little beacon, or like I can send it through crack. So like I think what it really is like I think trying out new creatures that are out there. Like everyone likes using the owl. Mm-hmm. Owls are great. Not being able to get hit by opportunity attacks, it's fantastic.
There are ways around that.
There are ways around it. But I think it's all about just kind of being creative with what kind of creatures you're allowing as familiar. But like we love submissions for that. That'd be great.
Sure,
that'd be a great video.
Yeah. Yeah, because that could be a good Halloween video.
Oh,
little familiars and
little
stuff.
batch or
look at that. Actually, there's a one that I want to review.
Oh yeah.
For Halloween, there's it's an adventure called Weekend at Strahd's, like Weekend at Bernie's.
I feel like I've heard about this one. Yeah.
So we're gonna take a look at that one too. How would you balance a 4-armed player race without them going crazy with shields or extra attacks? All right, let's. You want to get into the mind of the homebrew?
Yeah, I honestly, I wouldn't. Okay.
Don't say you wouldn't allow it.
I see the problem here. I see the problem here because obviously you could argue like, oh, with the extra hands, blah 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 blah. Because now you run into this issue where like now they can hold a spell casting focus and a shield and a sword and then another thing. So like I see the problem here.
Yeah. So here's what I would take a look at. I would look at number one, if it's a race that has 4 arms or anything like that, and use it to your advantage. The way I would see it would be exactly that. The advantage to having the 4 arms would be you don't have to use an action to unequip or to switch things out.
That's major. Yeah.
That's actually a really big thing. So that's number one. I would make sure that they know that that's something that's part of it, right? Mm-hmm. The next thing would be, I would look at what class they're running, what they're doing. So let me ask you on this: 4-arm player race without.
I smell a fighter being the problem here.
Well, yes,
or something else, but. Because like honestly, I mean like I would still make sure everything's within the game rules. I mean like they can only attack with however many attacks they have at that certain class level, or like they can only use their bonus action to make that one extra attack if they need to. I wouldn't allow them to be able to utilize.
Right, but I would look at it as okay. So here's what I would do. I would look at it as bonus things that they can do because they have free hands. Mm-hmm. So for example. Maybe if they have 4 arms or something like that, like I said, you can have 4 items equipped at once so that you can
which is awesome.
Sword,
that's
shield,
a great advantage.
Spell casting focus, I don't know, bag of
or
something.
Potion, whatever.
Know. Right. So that's number one. Number two, I would look at it as having those free hands, being able to do things like grapple.
Oh, absolutely.
Like even after like attacking, let it be that when you attack, you can also grapple.
Yeah.
Like things like that. I wouldn't have them be extra attacks.
No, absolutely not. I think that would be the appeal of playing the class. Those certain hand things.
Right. So things that you could do, like you have to focus the players on the fact that they have these 2 extra hands they can do something with.
Right.
Not to go back to Willie, but Willie does have with his Tula. They have other arms.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And there's little attacks and little things that they can do with those. Of course, their other arms are kind of like underdeveloped, so it's not like you have 2 big arms and 2 little arms. But that's what I would do with that. I hope, Stephen, that answers the question. I would
actually, if you want to link it to us, I'm just curious to take a look at it because we don't know what it's called or anything. But I'd like to take a look. Yeah. So if you want to. So.
Yeah, that would be something we want to look at because it's kind of like something you can. How do I put this? Like, always when doing a race, the thing that I have people pay attention to is that it's not so much. Yeah, gotta make grapple great. Oh, yeah, exactly, Randy. Yeah. You got it. It's not so much about all the extra things that they can do. Mm-hmm. It's more like it's usually situational stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like you have swim speed or whatever. You're not always swimming. It's something that that you if you get into a situation, you can
or
do.
Situational. It's not something that makes or breaks the character. It's something that's just to help the character.
Right. Even when you talk about a fire breath from a Dragonborn or something, it's like a once per day thing.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't be doing that all the time.
Always make that the the lower end of things. Don't make it like the focus of what they can do.
Right.
Now, if you've got a class that utilizes other parts of the body to make attacks or whatever, that's completely different.
Like that new monk.
Which I don't like, by the way.
Yeah, and that video will be coming out, and we make some points about it. It's not bad per se. I just think there could have been things that could have been better. But yeah, that'll be in that video. So
yeah, we did do a video on the new UA, the first new UA.
Because if anything, we were that second UA was a lot better.
Yeah, and we did 2 videos on that. Yeah. Well, one really long one that we divided into 2 parts.
But it was good. I like that new UA, so,
So, anyway, I want to make sure we answered that question on that. So, Steven, is that relevant to you? Does that sound, doable for yourself? Yeah. So, let's take a look. Is there anything else that we should go over?
Huh? Yeah, just that last comment. A slime would be a top-notch familiar for the new Underdark Arcana class and Sorcerer. Like, yeah, like we were talking about that in that video too. Like how that would actually kind of work out really well with the new Warlock and Sorcerer class, because they got this whole slimy creature thing going on. So being able to use like a slime familiar would be like very fitting. So.
Yeah, we I like those classes. Those 2. What's funny is I showed those both to Mark. And Mark did not care for either of them.
Oh wow, Mark.
Neither did Jason. Jason's like, yeah, I don't like them. I'm like,
and just in case, Mark and Jason are the Ignite regulars that Tony has on his weekly game, and so they didn't really nothing getting from those classes, huh? They didn't kind of just
Well, they felt like they were trying to do something that something that didn't go over well with it. Like it was like they're trying to burst into other avenues of things.
Sure. Okay. That's understandable. Right.
Okay, last one. Please let's not make it the last one. Let's ask as many questions as possible. So, we have another half hour to kill, so no big deal.
Okay. Spell focus. Plenty of rings and wands. However, any deal on specialty orbs or crystal balls. Now, in the rule book, they do detail about like there's a crystal ball. Like I think there's even you can have an orb. It's more for flavor, but I think it's important for the player to like. I like when people kind of bring up like oh, I have this orb or I have this wand. Because like think about it, you are casting magical spells from this thing here,
Right, and I think a lot of people, at least in our parties, just kind of take it for granted on how they're casting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is why I don't allow rangers to have component pouches or spellcasting.
Do not? Oh, I feel bad for them.
Don't feel bad for them. They're rangers. This is what they're supposed to.
No, but
feel bad for them because they're rangers, not because they can't cast magic with focus.
The materials. Yeah.
No, so that's an interesting question with that. Yeah. Specialty orbs or crystal balls. I have toyed around with the idea of having spellcasting focuses have abilities the longer you stay with them. Like, it would be awesome to be able to have, a crystal ball or a crystal or something like that could, after a certain number of, games or whatever with it, could hold on to a spell for you. Or be able to cast something else. Or when you have it, it would be something that you have a spell that you don't normally have on your list.
Oh, and that's great because like it makes people remember like what it is. This is something that like this sacred object that your character has is going to carry this for the entirety of the game, most likely. Yeah. So it should be something special. And like honestly, like the book lists like an orb or a wand. But if the player wants to do something a little more creative, as long as it doesn't break the actual game mechanics, allow it. I think it's really good for roleplay and story. So definitely think outside the box.
Yeah. Oh, well, all right. So we got 2 big questions there.
Yeah, I know. My God.
Dean, to answer that, viewers like you. But truth be told, but truth be told, I think our inspiration for the homebrew crew and what we do with it is the fact that there are a lot of really great homebrews out there that nobody talks about, that nobody covers. Our inspiration is really people like you guys who are producing homebrew content and want to get it out there. I mean, it's like there's there's a lot to go on with that.
Yeah, we've talked with a lot of people in this community and met a lot of great people that like a good part of their life is dedicated to just writing adventures, creating all these awesome classes and races, and it's so admirable. And because I used to really be into writing, and I kind of like dropped off of that for a little bit. But to see people like really invested and like putting their time into creating these stories and creating these things, I think that's honestly probably the biggest inspiration. I've also wanted to be back into YouTube. I mean, like YouTube's awesome, to be doing it. So that's obviously a bit of inspiration too. But
YouTube is awesome. We're not as big of fans as Twitch. Of Twitch as we should be with it.
Yeah.
That was an interesting thing.
But I
take what Matt Colville said to heart with that.
Yeah.
Is that Twitch viewers and YouTube viewers are two completely different animals.
They really are. And we don't purposely try to appeal just to one, but I think they just kind of we feel
at home here.
They're different
YouTube.
Platforms, and for sure.
So, do we have any plans to continue the Homebrew Right series?
Ooh,
yes and no. Let me explain why. The Homebrew Right series and the Homebrew Help series are ones that we decided we were going to try each of us on our own and see how it worked out. They take a little bit longer to actually write because we have to script them.
And for you to produce, because they require so much more, like those 5-minute videos require so much more work than like the 20-minute video that we spend on like a new UA or something.
Right, that is true. So the answer is yes, no. We want to do them. We just wish that we had somebody to help us do most of our editing with them. And there are topics that we want to talk about. Like I on the Homebrew Help side of things, I want to talk more about how to actually homebrew a class properly. Like when you see, here's at this level, this is what a sorcerer gets at, 6, 14, going on and on and on.
Yeah.
Because those things kind of screw up. A lot of people kind of mix those up when they're making something, and it turns out pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then for yours on the writing side of it,
oh god, yeah,
people love that.
Well, yeah, and there's a lot of things I still want to go into. I like going back to the inspiration question. I want to really talk about how I've included a lot of different mediums, mostly video games, and how I've kind of implemented a lot of that into how I structure certain scenarios or certain game mechanics and things like that. And again, I'm not really as much of a writer I was before, but lately I have been because of doing my own homebrew campaign. So I really want to go into that. So I hope see, I'm glad you guys bring it up, because I think now, honestly, I think we might have to get back into it.
See, the main thing was with it too is they didn't go over that well viewer-wise.
They weren't crazy.
Like our views on them were like, eh.
But they were really well.
The people that
liked.
did comment on them liked them.
Absolutely.
And we definitely want to do more of those. It's just kind of a thing of like, how do we find the time as to what we're doing? I mean, if you really look at what our schedule's like every week, between the book, editing all the videos that we have going on, the live stream, the game at Ignite, plus then recording other videos.
Yeah, and then all the extra stuff that we do outside of just in this office. When we're going to cons or like when we're going to events, like it's a lot.
Yeah.
But
yes,
thank you, Randy. I think we will have to get back into it pretty soon then, if that's the case. Yeah, for sure.
We're just gonna.
Just a quick question. I like my first character 18 years ago was a half elf ranger that sat in a dark corner.
Man, I was so cool. Yeah. Jeez, Dean, with the questions, man.
That's I like great. That one. But first, that first one, and that's relevant because there was some discussion about this.
Any plans for online sessions like Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds? If that's something you guys want to do, yes, we could do that.
I can hear Tony's heart like cranking.
Well, let me explain. I purchased the lot of Fantasy Grounds modules and everything. And I personally, here's my problem with running something over the internet. We add this extra bonus of people having computer problems on top of not understanding rules, top of having to prep the session in a way that's not, that's not just... Because I could sit down at a dinner party and start DMing. I could be a DM for people sitting there just at a dining room table and just tell a story and have them be part of it, right? When it comes to Roll20, I have to have maps set up, I have to have character tokens, I have to have all the monsters put in, it just takes a long period of time. Fantasy Grounds a little bit easier for me. Could possibly do that because I already own everything. But maybe.
I think it's really comes down to a matter of like, we love doing the content too, but that would be like a whole nother like level, like this is like another thing that we've got to kind of commit to,
Well, I think here's what we would do. I would first offer it to our Patreons, of which Dean is one, but I would first offer it to our Patreons because I think that's something that we could do. Maybe a once a month kind of thing.
Yeah, or at least once in a while. I think there, and what would be great is if we can run some of these modules that we review, because some of these are really fun. Like, I even want to play some of these, So I would, and like honestly, if there is anybody that wants to DM for me and Tony, oh my god, we never
this is a true thing.
We never play with each other.
We have
in D&D.
Yeah, we're out of D&D. That's just wow. I cannot edit that out now. Thank you. But that's a true thing.
Yeah,
is that
so true.
The two of us, it's either me DMing or him DMing. We never get to a point where the two of us get to actually have a good time and play D&D.
I know it's happened like once or two times, and of course those were great sessions.
Yeah, those been fun.
Great sessions.
It's been fun.
I still have that artwork you drew for me of that one elven girl. So
I don't even remember that.
I'll show it to you later. So next question. Anyways, so that's something we'll consider for sure.
Yeah.
One superpower would be why.
Superpower, why? I would like. Wow. I would like to be able to teleport. I like the idea. I am so a Nightcrawler kind of guy.
Yeah.
I just want to bamf from here to there, right?
Yeah.
Reason being, I got a lot of shit to do in my life. I got a lot of stuff that I get around and do, Mm-hmm. And I have a feeling like I would be so much better at things if I can just go from one place to another like that.
I'm kind of with you there. Mine would actually be just to stop time. I don't want to rewind it. I don't want to, go back in anything that I've done before. But I would want to stop time. Because, like, I feel like I can be really bad at time management. There's so many things I want to do that I never get to do.
But do you think that if you were able to stop time, you would just stop it and procrastinate for as long as you want? Like, wouldn't you just kind of like,
there'd be a point where
at
like,
one point I should probably start these people back up again?
Yeah, but at least I have that option. I want the choice. Like, I could procrastinate forever.
See, I get that. I look at it as how can I better manipulate the way things are going on in my life? Like, how can I move from here to here to be able to get that? Like, let's put it this way. I know I have to go grocery shopping.
Right. You just want to like.
That whole process of getting in the car.
Oh, it's a pain in the. It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, just in and out. That's the way I would be able to do it. But yeah.
Okay. So all right, everyone's making fun of the thing I said. So why don't we go ahead and hop into the Scarita. This is on DM's.
It sounds like some sort of like
drink.
A drink. It's a drink that you have at a Mexican bar or something.
2 Scaritas for me and my friend here. Now this is available on DM's Guild. Now this is basically it's a Hydra race. That's right. So it's a 3-headed Hydra race.
Right.
Or 2. I think you have the option.
I think it is a 2-headed race.
Yeah.
We should probably link it. Well, here's the thing. We're not. This is not a moment of bashing.
I did want to kind of preface that this is not us like tearing this apart, because the reason why I wanted to bring this one up is because like there's actually some really good concepts here, but I think there's just to be a couple of changes. I admittedly, I think there's just to be a couple of changes to really make it like something like I would put this in my campaign. I think that's kind of like a rule of thumb. That is that invisible standard.
Tell you what, let's do this.
Sure.
Why don't I pull it up?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna close out all of these other ones.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do a little song and dance for a little bit.
Why always me with the song and dance?
Because I got to run the computer. I got to run the computer.
Like I get it. Every time we do karaoke, I am always the one up first. But that does not mean I spend my time dancing and singing all the time.
Give us a quick second here. I think I could do. one sec, guys. We'll get that sound back on in just a second. It is literally just because I don't have a mic set up on that other one. So give me 2 seconds there, and I will fix that.
Yeah. Of course, worst case, we can always like send it as a link.
No, I want to do it live.
Sure.
So all I gotta do is go here. There we go. Now if I go scene.
But
channel,
yeah, I mean,
web.
I'm assuming that didn't pick up. So it's a really good classing concept. It's basically this multi-headed Hydra race, and initially, we thought it was a really good concept. It was a really good idea, and there's even a lot of lore that's detailed in the first part of the PDF as well. There's a lot of good
Here,
things to
check
it.
out and see if they can hear us now. See if they can hear us now, because we can't see the stream anymore, basically.
Yeah, I'm relying on.
You could turn the volume on that.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, we haven't done this part of the whole thing yet.
Yeah, but it is nicer to kind of look at it with everybody else like this. So. I'll never get used to viewing myself on video.
There we go. Okay, good.
All right, we're good.
You can definitely hear us now, which is great. Yeah. Thank you so much. Just keep watching. Thank you for the chat out. All right, so this is the Scoridra. So as we were saying when we were so deafened there for a minute, but this goes over a race that's a 3-headed race. We thought it was an awesome concept. Mm-hmm. We looked at it and we went, wow, this is really cool. I would love to do this. Maybe 2 players can play the same one.
Yeah.
Which we are reviewing an Ettenling class or Ettenling race. It's an awesome one. This one I thought was really, really cool. Mm-hmm. But there were some issues with this. And it's not so much the theme of it, right? It is the mechanics, right?
Yeah, honestly, I think there was a little too much going on regarding some of like the different traits that it gets. Because the lore is great. There's a lot of great detail into the backstory and in the history of these people, and that was really good.
Realm of Fire, and then being born of the flames themselves. You got the list of names
you can pick. So initially it started out really promising,
and then we got to here. And this is where it got a little bit interesting. Now, the artwork is still nice in this. That's really, appealing, mm-hmm. really kind of neat. And then we got into this. So we got into ability score increase, and that was fine, 2 to 1.
The alignment size, whatever. The problem here is that, and we've seen this a lot of times when we do homebrew races, where you start overloading with all these features.
And I think the other thing, too, with this is that it's essentially a Dragonborn.
With another head.
This is the thing that's weird about it, is that a lot of times when people homebrew something, they homebrew it. They homebrew it, but then they also have they like just re-theme something, and it's not quite like any the effort's not really as in it as possible.
Right.
But I really do enjoy the concept of this of having 2. So we look at this, and okay, they get Molten Breath, 15-foot cone. It's 3d6, 4d6, 5d6.
So
it's like the Dragonborn Fire Breath, right? And then they get a bite attack. Right. So that's another attack.
Another offensive option.
Right. Not even option, just you get it. Proficiency on Intimidation, which, okay, I get that. And then we get into Sibling Rivalry. So already we've got
this one was
2...
weird, though. The Sibling Rivalry one was... I think that tipped us over. I think that was what it was.
Right. Yeah. So now we got to take a look and see how we would make it better. Because this channel is not about, bashing anything that we didn't like or anything like that. I mean, we are not like the end-all, be-all when it comes to homebrew stuff.
No, absolutely
not. But when it comes to this is where it gets a little interesting. So if you're looking at a race like this one that has 2 heads, their main feature should be the fact that it has 2 heads.
Yeah.
Right? It should be something like that. So we get into Sibling Rivalry. Once per day, anytime you make a skill check and fail your roll, your other sibling head may make another check roll with advantage to solve the issue. The sibling heads will bicker amongst themselves as a result. Because of this, your next skill check will have disadvantage. You may use Sibling Rivalry after a long rest. So, essentially, here's how this works. You get, you roll on something, you fail on it.
And then you get to roll again.
Then you get to roll again, you have to use the result.
Right.
So it's the luck trait.
Yeah, it's like luck. It's like indomitable. It's like we've seen this feature before. I kind of like what they're doing, where like the next one has this advantage, but it's not really a feature that is like it's like that we haven't seen before.
Right.
And then besides that, then we're getting bombarded with like the fire resistance and the D6 on the bite and the molten breath. It's all these things that has been done. I think this sibling rivalry concept, though, I think that's like the right direction that we need to go with on this race. I think that's definitely the right direction. I think it's got to be something related to like having these multiple heads. Maybe it can be more of like a social interaction thing instead of like combat. But I also like that these two minds can solve something. I think if we can figure something out with that, instead of just like, advantage and disadvantage, I think we can get something there.
Right. So what would you do on this? I would look at this and go, see, I would always have it be that second head. Like, okay, so what do you get with two heads?
Oh, well, here's the thing. You're more perceptive now.
Right. That's so the
like
first
that.
thing.
There should be something with perception.
So what I would do is I would double your proficiency bonus.
Absolutely, because like imagine like one's looking forward, one's looking back.
Right. So you've got sight in many different directions with it. I would also look at it as maybe one of these things like the bite or the molten breath.
Mm-hmm.
I would lessen the amount on molten breath. Maybe make it like a fire burn. What's the flame? I don't want to say fireball because it's not fireball.
Firebolt?
Firebolt. That's what I'm looking for. Firebolt. What I would do is I would make it as a bonus action. The other head can either bite or firebolt. And then limit that to a number of days.
Once per short or long rest or something.
Right. Because then that explains why they would have the two heads and how that would work.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're getting an additional something every round.
Yeah. That would be like a big benefit.
And then as far as sibling rivalry is concerned, I don't think all brothers fight. My brother and I get along very, very well.
Yeah, maybe not I guess it depends on the lore. Maybe not a sibling rivalry, but like I do like this idea.
I would look at it more as a two heads are better than one thing. I would look at it as like, if you fail on the roll, your other one could try to figure it out.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But the thing is...
But I would maybe take out the bickering part.
And I would change it for it to be a skill check that involves some sort of mental something.
Right.
Because...
Yeah, I mean, like, if they're going to try and hit something, the other head's not going to do it any better.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They share the same arms, they share the same legs.
Like a mental thing, like wisdom, intelligence, charisma stuff, absolutely, sure. Because, like, you've got these two different, heads there. That makes sense.
Right. So this would be something like that.
Yeah. Or maybe on saves. Maybe on, like, wisdom, charisma, intelligence.
And then they do this here on the sibling rivalry variants and what have you. It makes a spell attack, reaction, grant your sibling had a chance to make another spell attack roll with advantage. That, I would just, no. Mm-hmm. Just because, think about this. You make a spell attack, now you get another spell at the same round.
Mm-hmm.
That could be kind of,
No, yeah, absolutely.
So, again, this is not an example of us degrading something with it. In fact, some of these are kind of neat. They added a bunch of racial features, which were kind of cool. But I think the main thing with take away with this is the theme is good. It's just the execution of some of those points are not.
Yes. And we bring this onto the stream because we want this to be better. We want this to be good. I want to say, like, yes, I would have this in my homebrew campaign. That is, like, honestly the goal for what we kind of want to review on here. We want this to be, like, something you want to play.
Let's face it. When we saw the race, originally when we saw it, we bought it.
Yeah.
We looked at it and went, oh, this is cool. This would be awesome.
Right, exactly.
And it's when we opened it, it was kind of like, oh, this isn't as cool as we thought it was, but it could be better. We might have to fix this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So we can give out for this now, I guess, right?
Yeah. We can actually go back. I think we got
let's go back to our
questions in there, so
let's go back to our community live stream. That social button keeps going away. I don't know why. There we go. Hey, we're back. So that's sort of the thing that we are kind of looking at with it. In fact, we can pull back our stream here so we can take a look back at our stuff. Yes, Alejandro, there is an Ettenling race that we're doing that we didn't do, but someone sent us something, and it's a really, really, really awesome one. We're going to be reviewing that very, very soon. That's something like I saw this and they did such a great job with it that it was like, I don't know how else to explain it. It allows you to have two people playing at the same time for the same character, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. But still, at least they like it's not where
they each have their same class,
right? Yeah, they still feel like a player. So that's kind of the important thing.
So what did we see in there? Snake Witch is here. This realized would be better as a trapdoor, which stayed stationary, tripping with 5 feet. Yes, it's a Minesweeper inspired trap. It's talking about the trap. Okay.
Yeah. A ball pit. That's their recline, but yes. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that is.
Oh, and yeah, Minesweeper. It's funny because like.
We did that recently.
Yeah, we did.
It wasn't as fun for us as it was for you. Let me tell you. I watched. I wasn't a part of it. I watched.
But that is a great example of like using like a mechanic that you got from a game and like putting it as a mechanic in your campaign. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't think you're stealing or anything.
Oh, no, not at all.
You're not claiming it as your own. You're basically, taking this awesome idea and putting it into your story.
What base races do we both think need improvement? Dean, that is a fantastic question, sir. That's something that I've looked at for a long time. Some of the... all right, so when we got into Volo's Guide, for example, there were some races in there that need some work. But this is primarily base races, right?
Oh, yeah, true. So, like, we're talking, human, dragonborn, dwarf.
I think they should just throw halflings out the window completely.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
they fly quickly,
too.
You know,
let's ask you this. What would you do to change halflings?
Well...
See, when the question actually comes up.
I did change halflings. I got rid of them. I don't.
But like, let's say someone really wants to play a halfling. They've just finished their Lord of the Rings marathon.
They could find another DM.
But like what do you feel like maybe what you would change about a halfling, like, per se?
Here's the thing. Halflings they're not bad, right? In fact, I don't really like I don't have any despise for the actual like physical creature kind of halfling, right?
No wonder you and Dean get along. Jeez.
Thank you.
Also dislikes halfling, but continue.
No, I think the problem with the halfling is it screws with the DM too much.
Okay.
Not so much the luck. It's not just the lucky trait or whatever. They're just, I don't know, something about them. They're too happy. They What purpose do they serve lore-wise? You know what they do? They eat your food. They smell of cabbage, and they get to do whatever the heck they want.
You've always been a gnome man. That's why.
I am a gnome man.
You are a
gnome like gnomes.
Kind of guy, yeah.
Gnomes at least contribute something to society. They build mechanical marvels and things like that in order for people to get and to use. They advance technology and magic. What do halflings do? They make a stew. I mean, it's like there's nothing for that.
Halflings are dragon bait.
I agree with you, Dean. That's an interesting point. But as far as base classes that I would change with it, I think everybody seems to play elves. I don't mind elves at all. They're kind of fine. Some of the other things, though, that I think what happens is I get jealous playing base races when I see things in, like, Volos that are so much better.
Yeah, for sure.
You're not alone, Tom. He likes them, too.
I like halflings, too. Yeah. I was actually about to say, I think what we've kind of seen is, like, there's always been, like, classes that have the same kind of like characteristics, like another charisma race, I think
there's not many intelligence ones, and that's
I think that's really the issue. I don't think we want to necessarily change any of the base races, but we need more smart races, especially with the Artificer coming out. We need more intelligent based races. Honestly.
Let's look here. What are the things I say? You know what I think? I think here's what I think. It's not so much the base races. In fact, I can go tiefling, human, half orc, gnome, half elf, halfling, elf, dwarf, dragonborn. I'm fine with those.
Absolutely. They're actually okay. I was also having a hard time with that question myself.
Like I said, when I get into things like Volo's Guide to Monsters, right, and I look at, I like the hobgoblin, the furbolg is cool, the bugbear's got something interesting, Kenku's all right, kobold, I think the one that gets the worst rap is the orc.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you why. Because the half-orc better. That's why. This is the thing.
It depends on your build.
No, I'm serious. The -2 to intelligence, +2 to strength, +1 to constitution. They did a 2 to 1, and then
a -2.
Yeah, Volo's Guide is the only one that does minus stats. And I don't think that it's wrong. I mean, I really do think it's fine. But give them something more on top of what every other class gets. A +2 to strength and a +1 to constitution, for example, and then you go up to the half-orc with it, you get +2 to strength and +1 to constitution without the negative modifier. And then when we look at the stuff, you
actually,
get the...
I want to take a really quick look because like I'm really familiar with what a half orc gets, but like the orc is basically kind of like building up on what the half orc gets.
Well, kind of, yeah. They get the dark vision, great, that's awesome. Then you get aggressive, bonus action, move half your speed towards an enemy. You must move closer. You have trained in intimidation. And you have powerful build. That's it.
Yeah.
You just get extra movement.
And like honestly, aggressive is actually not that useful. I'd rather be a half orc and be able to re-roll my crits and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a much more useful feature.
But then that's what I'm saying is the orc itself is why play an orc? Your worst. That little bit of human in the half, and we assume it's human,
right?
But that little bit of human in the half orc makes them so much better.
I think I see what they're trying to do. Like like oh, you're a full orc, but like I think they do that for a reason. I think we want to keep orcs as like kind of like that NPC, that monster or whatever it is. You know,
there's that, and then they go the complete opposite way on the lizard folk. Lizard folk is like.
Lizard folks are good.
I can bite. I've cunning artisan. I can make things out of anything with it. I can hold my breath for a long time. I know which way things are going. I've got natural armor. I can do an extra like hungry jaws attack and actually eat things.
They're good.
They're like completely like the opposite direction. And I think where it comes in is like I don't mind playing kobolds because they get pack tactics. They get cower and bag. Those are awesome. But that orc. I tell you, that orc is the one that does not.
I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever met anybody that plays full orc.
Yeah, there's no reason to. There's no reason to. Yeah, well, yes, minus stats. So like the Gensai might need something. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I hear a lot about variant human. A lot of people don't like variant human.
Getting a feat right off the bat?
Yeah.
Oh no, I prefer that.
Really?
I prefer that. The ones that I don't care for with it is when you get like a half elf bard in the party. And you're just like, okay, fine, you just
win. Of just good at everything.
You just win at skill checks. But yeah, so that's part of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are kind of nice. I mean, there are some that outshine it. You would play a half elf bard before you played a dwarf bard.
True.
You know, it's just kind of like that's how they fit. The feat is crazy, but you as a DM can always limit which feats are available for them in the beginning. I usually do that. I kind of have like a, certain feat.
Genocide. That's another kind of interesting one too, because like I always have a lot of players like, whoa, genocide. That sounds cool, and then nobody really plays genocide
because their stuff is in their sub races, and I think that unless you're going something very,
I think it depends on like this theme or this thing you're trying to go for. I think you need a certain image.
Here's the point. Each of those things with it, like what is it, the air one, you get levitate. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, it's each one is kind of underwhelming is the whole point. Yeah. Pass without a trace. Good spell, but it's also a second level spell.
Yeah.
It's not, that crazy.
And that's probably why a lot of people, or like, it's not like a hugely... At least in my experience, there's not a whole lot of people that play it. But...
Well, unless you play the fire one. And the fire one's not too bad.
Yeah.
Fire one is the only one that gets...
always good.
Yeah. See, each of those is not too bad. But yeah, I wouldn't look at... The problem with it is that each subsection of that, like the earth, the air, the fire, water, that kind of thing, each one has a different stat modifier. I would have made everything one stat modifier for the race, and then broken apart abilities. Yeah. Because here's the thing: let's say I want to play a fire one, right? But I want to play a monk, like an elemental, the 4 elements monk. I get +1 to my intelligence modifier.
Yeah, not really too
helpful. Whoop-de-doo. So. It doesn't really help with what.
And I also feel like a lot of people feel like they have to be like a certain story or something like that to play a genocide.
Yeah.
So that's the thing too.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I tend to agree with that.
Yeah, Savage Attacks is good. So like, why not give it to the orc if they've already got -2 to intelligence? Might as well give it to them.
Exactly. And that's that goes into why I like the Knoll homebrew ones that we find.
Yeah.
It's because they do get that, hey, let me go rip it apart kind of thing. And I think that's awesome. I think that is something that needs to be done with the orcs. The half orcs should not have that. Mm-hmm. They don't have that. They shouldn't have it. It's just I would think that because they're half human, they would get a little bit more towards the intelligence side of things, making things better. So they would lose some of that rage. Or whatever. Yeah. Lead further into the elemental aspect of it. I agree. I totally agree. So we are looking at coming up on our hour here. We may end off pretty soon, but we want to go over a couple of things. +2 at con, then maybe a floating +2 regardless of subrace. 2 and 1. I would say 1, and they would be able to pick. I mean, like, just because you could do that. In fact, that's a standard way to do it. You give them +2 to Constitution, because let's face it, they're made out of elements. Yeah. And then you do +1 to whatever. It's just like, and 1 of any of your choice. There, solved. Then I can play what I want.
If you want to be that fire, but you don't want intelligence, it's like, now you're just being limited to how you want to play this character.
Exactly, and that is something that happened with Volos. Yeah. Volos was very much the experiment into how can we play one sort of section and like guide players to a certain class, and it didn't quite work. Whereas like the Sword Coast Adventurers guide was, okay, we're going to do this really, really, exact on that, and you have to play a dwarf in order to play this, and the class isn't really that great anyway, but it's rare.
People weren't crazy about that, so it's just like, but like, it's nice that we've gone through these different trial periods, and now we're getting some really solid stuff. I think we're getting some really solid stuff.
Absolutely. So now what I'd like to do is I want to kind of move this topic-wise, if everyone's cool with moving on for a brief second and what have you. I think that we're good on our homebrew stuff. We could take more questions with it, but we kind of want to go through our monthly prize winner as well. Because we just a few weeks ago, in fact, we were supposed to give this prize away at the end of, what was it? What video was
August.
it? Oh, at the end of August.
Because we reviewed the Essentials kit.
We are 2 weeks late on the Essentials kit with it. And we're just going to kind of reach out and do this thing too. But we're giving away that 50% off code for everybody with
pretty useful. So,
and that's something that somebody can go and get the guide there. I don't know if even our person that's going to be part of that is going to be in the stream right now, but we might as well kind of go over that too.
Yeah, sure.
So we kind of want to run these things as well. This is a good chance for everyone to talk about real quick what sort of things you guys would like to see for subscriber rewards and things like that.
Yeah.
Would you hold that conversation while I go look up the
well, yeah, and I was going to say, I think we kind of want to start focusing on, what people, first of all, what they want to see on the channel.
Yeah.
But also,
why don't you ask that? It's our turn to ask you people questions.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, this is a Q&A reversed. So like
an A and Q?
A and Q, yeah. But if there's anything that like you guys feel like you want to see in the channel, or things that you want to see us start to do, anything that will make it feel more worthwhile, as a viewer, because trust me, we get a kick out of doing all the reviews and stuff, and like talking to people and checking out all the new content. But for you, the viewers, of course, we're so thankful that everyone subscribes or like you contribute to our Patreon and things like that. So whether it's here on the stream or you want to send us an email or a comment later on, if you want to let us know exactly what you want to see or what you want us to do.
Yeah, I see. I think what happens too is that we are trying to get Patreon rewards out to everybody. Running this channel has become costly. Let's put it that way.
To put it, yeah.
And we try our best with things. That's why we're working so hard to release our book and our reviews and stuff like that, because that's a source of income for us. We both work 40-hour-a-week jobs. Not that we're gloating or anything, because we're not like bigwigs or anything.
But a lot of people, don't work 40-hour jobs and try to do like the YouTube thing at the same time. I mean, well, then there's some people that do, but like the point is, there's a lot of work and stuff that goes in the background. And of course, if we had more resources, there's a lot of stuff that would be like happening on the channel and things like that. So, we always do appreciate if anyone's able to like help us out or support us. That's why we're always willing to listen and do what we can, basically.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of it is our passion to do this. It's not like we're doing this out of duress or anything. But at the same time, it is trying. It is a lot of work to get this thing going.
Oh,
so
no,
we're
yeah.
trying our best.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here we go with our essentials kit with it, and we've got so many great people who said things about us. And some of us are actually in.
Oh yeah, some of us are actually
in
in
the
this
chat
chat right now.
So let's. I don't think I have the wheel set up, but let me. It is on here.
No, yeah, I know. Yeah,
Tools.
exactly.
I just have to find where it is.
Tom Critter, actually, and I can share that in the chat here. There is I wouldn't call it a Homebrew Crew guild, but there is a Facebook page dedicated to homebrew help, and it's been a little dead lately.
A little dead? It's deader than last year's cat in there.
Okay, it's a little slow.
You know what it is? You know how dead it is? It is like Norman Bates's mom dead in the rocking chair kind of dead. That's how dead it is in there.
Well, you know what, Tom? If you want to help it not make it dead, I'm going to go ahead and put a link to that in the chat right now. So that way we can prove Tony wrong. I'm going to go ahead and get a link for that right now. But essentially, the goal of that page, and if you're in stream right now, please go ahead and join in. We want people to, share homebrew stuff in there. I mean, that's what the Discord is for as well. But there are some people that, prefer to use Facebook as an outlet. There are some people that, find it easier to organize things on that Facebook page. So that's kind of the general reason for it. So hopefully that'll kind of... That's what it'll be for, essentially. Let me go ahead, copy link to group, there we go. And I'm going to spit that out into the chat here. If I can do it. There we go. So Tom, if you want to go to that link, that is for the Homebrew Help page.
You can also follow us on Facebook, and then our biggest following of people is in the Discord.
Yes.
Which still shocks me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's crazy. There's like almost 100 people in there now.
I cannot keep up with all the stuff that goes in the Discord, but we do like it in there.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy.
And you know what? There's this other YouTube channel, and I can't think of it now. But I was thinking, so there's two comments in here. Host a building a blank together, whether it's the beginning of a class, a background, blah blah blah. So like building a blank. That's a good idea. I think
we could do that. That's gonna be a longer thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Maybe we stream that.
Yeah, I feel because so too. And if you before we wrap up, if you can get that in there, like would it be like building like a homebrew thing, or like building like a sorcerer, or building like a cobalt,
let's put it this way: we'd like to keep the channel homebrew related,
right?
And I know kind of the goal. I know our friends over at Nerdarchy always do the how do you make the best monk.
Right, and there's this other channel,
but I don't think anyone's doing the actual classes on how to build
exactly.
Which I think is
there's this other great YouTube channel where they do like building a Keyblade Master, or like building like a blah blah blah.
I've seen
that's like a different kind of thing. But like if we can make it homebrew, that'd be awesome.
I think showing people how to build one of those, like an actual class. Like I would love to take the sorcerer, show people these are the levels that you make something at. Because every single sorcerer that's in 5th edition has a flavor spell, some sort of flavor thing. They've got an ability that gives them better AC. They've got something that gives them wings and a flying speed. And then they've got some insane ability where they can't be touched for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, exactly.
But to structure every single sorcerer that way is what makes them a sorcerer.
Sure. Yeah, so that's something we can definitely look into. Snake, which I see your comment here. Just saying that they like seeing the new homebrew stuff. It's like they like it more than like the new D&D content review. Because, and you're right too, a lot of people, that's kind of what everyone reviews. We review it just because we like talking about like the new UAs.
We should be honest with them. We review it because it gets views. I mean, let's put it that way. There are tons of people out there that we want to reach and be able to have them see what we do on the channel. And truth be told, when you do an Unearthed Arcana, right? Yes, that's the way I say it. I'm sorry. When we do one of those, we see more people coming to the channel.
No, yeah. Admittedly, like when we did the Verdun, we got a lot of people that ended up subscribing to us because that video did well. But they also learned about the homebrew stuff.
But that's because the Verdun video that was put out by D&D Beyond
was also people didn't like it.
Right. So then,
we actually wanted to detail, and that's the other thing too. We yes, obviously it helps kind of reach out to those other audiences,
right.
But we're never gonna leave the homebrew stuff. That's just kind of our way to talk about new things, maybe reach out to new people, and introduce them hopefully to homebrew content for D&D 5e. So.
Right, and that's kind of what we do. Now I'm going to announce our winner before we end off on this here. We are going to award this to a Mr. Ian Trout. Ian Trout, who responded to us on our on our Facebook. But that's an interesting subscriber photo. But so we will reach out to Ian and make sure that he gets it. There we go.
Yeah. So Ian, in case you're watching this now or later, congratulations. We'll be sure to reach out to you to get you that code for the 50% off. So thank you again so much for you and anyone else that's been watching our videos and been subscribing. We do appreciate it. So we'll get that out to you as soon as possible.
Now, we are probably going to end off here, but before we do, we want to make sure that there's no other little questions and things that are hiding out there, because we want to make sure you guys know everything that's going on with us here. If you have any last-minute questions, we can probably take like 2 or 3 more, and that's about it.
Yeah, so... I will approve that immediately. Thank you, Tom.
I can do that. There you go.
Oh, Tom and Adolf. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
We'd love to have you guys in there. That would be great.
Awesome. You guys were accepted. So hopefully we can get more discussion on that page too. That'd be awesome. Okay.
For a prize, I would like having a viewer-created NPC. That's doable.
Man, maybe in the mall or something.
It's Snake Witch. Snake Witch watches us every single week.
That's true.
Which is good. Thank you, Snake. We will definitely do something like that. I think that's an awesome thing. But definitely, if anyone is able to assist with those things or want to be part of what we do, head on over to the Discord. We are always working on a lot of different stuff. If there's not any more questions or what have you, I think we're going to end off then. Thank you, Adolf.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate it.
We love you guys too. So, yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to be the end of our little stream here. We are close to our subscriber goal. We're going to get over that. If you guys have any questions, remember you can send it to us at dmbrewcrew@gmail.com. I don't know where that's going to be posted because I don't have my little doohickey like I normally do.
Watch one of our videos. It's
always
going to be there. Be sure to check out our stream as well. We have a lot of great stuff that we play test live and things that we test. So if you want to check out actual homebrew play test, that's a really great way to get into that too. Just talk to us. We're on, and we check Facebook Messenger instantly. We check Discord when we can. We get the emails. There's a lot of ways to reach out to us and get the community going.
Absolutely.
So yeah, please do.
And remember, the best campaigns are always the ones that are homebrewed. And this time we get to do it live, and then I have to do that.
And then you got to
awkward thing where
and then
yeah. So remember, the best campaigns are always the ones that are homebrewed. So until next time, keep brewing.